One reason that it is such a privilege to be the member for Mayo, and I've got to say there are many, it's because my own values align closely with those of my community. There is no better example than this issue. The people of Mayo see the need for the value of developing our local economy and industries, and they also have a deep connection to our pristine local environment and know the importance of nurturing and conserving it. They see how essential it is for economic development and environmental protection to work together and to build on each other. Professor Samuel's review of the Environment Protection Biodiversity Conservation Act was comprehensive and it was damning. It found that the current regime is not fit for purpose. It is failing to promote economic development and it is failing to protect the environment. It is a scandal that the current situation is this bad, and yet we have quiet. Why is this the case? The previous review in 2010 found the same problem as Professor Samuel. Labor failed to act then, and the coalition, I believe, is failing to act now that they are in power. And it's because of those failures that our environment is now in a state of unsustainable decline. And I believe, frankly, both parties should be ashamed. What matters now is what happens next. The government proposes that we allow state governments to handle the entire project approvals process as long as they comply with federal standards. Centre Alliance has no problem with this, as long as the standards effectively protect the environment. An independent regulator can monitor processes and outcomes, and there is a broader response to the Samuel review. However, this is not what the government is proposing. The standards that the government has proposed are simply not effective. Instead, they will lock in the current failing regime for at least another 2 years. The regulator, as proposed by the government, is not independent. Instead, they will be part of the department and subject to interference by the minister. Further, the government has not published a response to the Samuel review and refuses to tell us if they ever will. We simply have no idea if they intend to walk away from reform after this bill is dealt with. It is simply not good enough. This is why Centre Alliance has been working with the Senate crossbench to ensure the EPBC bills will not pass Parliament in their current form. We are not opposed to reform. Rather, we think it is necessary and long overdue, but it needs to be done right, and that's not what we have in front of us. We wrote collectively, myself and both Senator Griff in the other place and other crossbench senators wrote to the Minister back in March, setting out what that means. Firstly, we want the government to work with industry and conservation groups to deliver better standards, not in 2 years' time. This needs to be done today. The Senate inquiry heard those groups have already agreed to 80% of Samuel's standards. So let's adopt those agreed standards in this bill and set up a process to find common ground for the other 20%. Secondly, we want the regulator to be genuinely independent. We want someone who can speak honestly and openly about the problems that are within the system and how to fix them. We want someone who is fearless. We will not get that in this bill. That's the only way to ensure the system is effective and rebuild public confidence. And thirdly, we want a comprehensive response to the Samuel review with a roadmap for implementation. This will give us confidence the government is not going to walk away from Samuel after this bill has passed. Those were our requests that we put in writing, requests that we believe are reasonable and responsible, and that will improve this bill and deliver better environmental and economic outcomes. Disappointingly, the Minister, I believe, hasn't considered any of our concerns. I certainly haven't seen a letter in response. And it's for those reasons and for the lack of confidence of myself and my Centre Alliance colleague, Senator Sterling Griff, that we can not support this bill before the House. Thank you.